Greetings, friends. Reverend Dinah here. Thank you for this opportunity to share with you a few ideas about joy and justice, something I've been researching and working on as a doctoral student at Pacific School of Religion here in the Bay Area. I want to tell you a little bit about my history first. So I know that we've traced on my mother's side, I am the great granddaughter of an enslaved woman named Ariska, who was sold out of Virginia into Tennessee in the mid 1800s. So finding joy within our souls and expressing it through music, worship, and dance is what I have always believed sustained my family and moved us through the most harrowing times in history and through our own more recent personal experiences and tragedies, such as the murders of 10 folks in Buffalo, very recent. So when we examine the 400-year history of the brutalization and inhumane treatment of African Americans in the United States, I would venture to say that this underlying spiritual quality of divine joy has been this inherent superpower that has enabled my ancestors to endure and ignite the divine impulse toward freedom. This joy will manifest and express in many ways, such as music, art, food, dance, rituals, family gatherings, individual and communal worship, and it can be summoned to lift the downtrodden, not only to survive, but thrive and live just one more day or one more hour, just to be able to take another breath sometimes is joy. So why is joy so vital for the justice work? Well, that's what I'm working on. This spiritual quality of joy, it is our true essence and our spiritual birthright. No matter what forms of expression it may take, it's the undergirding, the foundational gateway by which justice movements and spiritual social movements for change are energized and sustained. I will even call it the law of joy, because of its unfailing, long-sustaining track record in lifting us, in lifting my people and ancestors when the death-dealing forces of despair wanted to swallow us. Joy is the vital ingredient that will continue to sustain all of us, all of those who are involved in spiritual social action in the coming weeks, months, and decades. When it's all said and done, in the backdrop of political organizing, grassroots mobilization, sit-ins, pray-ins, marches, and legal battles, we will stand and rely on the law of joy to open our hearts and connect us to one another, connect our heads and hearts, connect us so that we can heal and reveal the light of truth that will renew us and strengthen us to stay steadfast on the course toward justice. I am convinced that this joy has a gathering effect, a relatable dimension that transcends spiritual traditions, denominations, and categorizations that have separated us for far too long. And being one with the divine, made in the image and likeness of God, as divine expressions and spiritual beings, nothing shall be able to separate us from this love, this joy that is innately ours, unless we choose not to activate it. So we must allow it to rise up to its fullest potential and have that inner essence come forth. It's always waiting there to stir us up and sustain us as we co-create a collaborative world that is harmonious and just. So I'm inviting all of us into a greater work to experience this deeper joy that will strengthen, heal, and renew us. We need joy for the journey. We need joy. And in the words of Dr. Willie Jennings, I believe he's professor at Yale Divinity School, he says that joy is resistance to despair and all the forces of despair. Joy is resistance to despair and all the forces of despair. So join the resistance. I believe joy goes hand in hand with justice and unlocks the creative imagination in us all so that we can reveal the divine ideas that will enable us to see justice roll down like waters and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream, as spoken by the prophet Amos. So joy and justice, justice and joy. Thank you. God bless.